Hello, I am a super slacker. That's right, I am a super slacker. I'm supposed to be working on the third installment of the virtues to find happiness, but I found a related article today by a lady by the name of Celestine Chua, and you can find an article at personalexcellence.com and just search how to be unhappy. I don't agree with everything she says. I'm going to read it. Well, I'm going to read it, but I don't agree with all of it. And the first one is, and I keep losing it. I'm so sorry. What in the world? There we go. Okay. Sorry, how frustrating. Okay, number 1, complain. Number 2, avoid your problems. Number 3, compare yourself with others. Number 4, worry about things that have not happened yet. Number 5, let your problems overwhelm you. Number 6, do things you don't love. Number 7, stay on in a relationship that no longer serves you. Number 8, try to change others. Number 9, try to please others. Number 10, attach yourself to goals, outcomes, statuses, things, and people, and let your emotions be tied to them. Okay, now here's the deal. I agree with about 80% of that. Maybe a little less. I think actually a couple of them can be intermingled. I would say complaining is number 1. I absolutely agree with that one. No questions asked. That is, you complain, you're focusing on the negative, you're opening up the door to constant criticism, and you're the one doing the criticizing. And if you're not really making a difference, all you're doing is being negative. If you're not changing anything, you're just being negative. People who are, you can be frustrated with something and not complain about it. If you're frustrated, you fix it. If you complain about it, you don't. At least that's how I see it. The next one, I don't believe in avoiding your problems, but I also don't believe in focusing hardcore on your problems to the point that you don't actually get anything accomplished. But she mentioned sleeping, eating, work, play, procrastination, going on a rebound, anything to avoid the issue. I believe personally that if I have an issue, the first thing that I do is say, am I sleepy? And know myself well enough to know that when I'm tired, I'm not rational, and I don't think about things correctly. So I don't necessarily avoid the problem. I simply delay focusing on it because it might not really be a problem at all. Simply because I see it as a big, it's all up in my face when I'm tired. And so I do agree with comparing yourself with others. Stop it, people. Okay? Comparing yourself with others is the worst thing you can do. Why? Because everybody else has their challenges and their frustrations and their lives for a reason. You got yours for a reason. I wouldn't put the burdens I have carried in my life on anybody else ever in the whole history of the world, ever. Why? Because they were awful. So I'm not going to sit here and compare myself to other people because I've become a totally different person because of those burdens. Some people, I don't think, go through a lot of trials like others do. But at the same time, they don't necessarily need to. It's between them and God. Let it be between them and God. Let yourself be between you and God, because you've got things to worry about that you shouldn't be comparing yourself to others with. Okay? Okay. The next, oh, I love this one because I totally do this. Worry about things that have not happened yet. Now, I'm not really bad at it. I tend to make goals and then work towards them really hard. And I do let go. Okay, but if I would say if there's any of these that I do at all, this was probably the one. I focus on things that haven't happened yet and that may never actually happen. And I don't live in the present nearly as much as I probably should. Even though I like to work towards the future, I have some work to do on that. I would say that's probably my biggest one. Okay. Letting your problems overwhelm you. You know what I call this? I call this seeking drama. Seeking out drama and letting it be the focus of your day. Stop it. Stop it, people. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Doing things you don't love. This is one of the ones I disagree with. We're going to do things in our life that we don't love. Do I believe that that should be all we do? No. But some people have jobs that they don't love, but they're providing for the family and they love their family. So you've got to find your balance there. And the problem with expecting to love everything you do is that suddenly you have something to complain about. And we go back to number one. Okay, so don't stress. You can love what you're doing. You can choose to try to, and sometimes it's going to be hard, and sometimes it's not going to work, and that's okay. Just know that the reasons behind what you're doing is because you love somebody and you're providing for somebody, or whatever it is. Serve others. You will find joy in service, period. And that actually goes on into a couple, the next one. Stay on in relationships that no longer serve you, such as people who are energy vampires, critical people, unconscious people. Look up those words, critical and unconscious. I know about energy vampires because I've met them and they drive me crazy. But those friends that you make that aren't really friends, but they really kind of drain everything. You're sitting in the room with you, all of a sudden you're just like, oh, so tired. Okay, I know I totally just made somebody yawn. That's awesome. Okay, but energy vampires, stuff like that. You don't need to keep those people in your lives, but I will tell you this. If you serve them, you don't necessarily need to feed into their drama, but if you serve them, you will find that you'll help them. You'll be a good example to them, and even if they never change, you will be a better person for it. So don't necessarily seek out relationships like that, but if you know people like that, still serve them. Don't avoid them completely. Just avoid letting them drain you, because that goes to number 10, which we'll get to. Trying to change others. I will tell you this much. Look at my latest Facebook blog or status update. Okay, it might not be my latest one, but I posted one, and it's also on LDS. And my comment about agency. I will tell you, people, do not try to change the people around you. It is not gonna happen. They have to change themselves. If you try to change them, you will only be disappointed, because suddenly you've created an expectation and a reason to complain. So don't try to change the people around you. Just change yourself. Number 9, pleasing others. Okay, I'm going to put this with number 10. Attach yourself to goals, outcomes, statuses, things, and people, and let your emotions be tied to them. By doing those two things, so trying to please people, you are actually doing number 10. Their satisfaction, their happiness, their being pleased, you attach yourself to that. And if they don't get it, then you don't get it. And then, of course, we feel this inevitable guilt as women for everything that we could possibly do wrong, and that's just who we are. So don't attach yourself to anything except for yourself. Love yourself, love God, serve other people, because you are God's hands. And you will learn to love yourself more by serving others. You will learn to love God more. You will learn to love others more. And when you serve God, you're serving, or when you're serving your fellow man, you're serving God. This is actually going longer than I expected, but that is my concept. This is the virtues number 3, but it's actually kind of virtues number question mark, because it doesn't fall into the 10 virtues that are in the top. So we're still going to continue with those. If it's a yes, we will, as matters of timing that's questionable. Hopefully I'll get to them soon. But I love you guys. You're great. Serve others. Don't complain, and be better people. Count your blessings, because they could keep you going forever. And count the little things, like your toothbrush and stuff. I love my toothbrush. I love my kids. I love my house. And the funny thing is, only when people complain about those things and the little things and the things that I do get frustrated once in a while by, do I even notice that I'm frustrated by them. So you never know when you're going to convince somebody to see something negative because you're complaining around them. So be careful about that. You are loved. Have a wonderful day. Bye.